Since 2000, the Orlando Museum of Art has offered programs for adults living with cognitive and memory impairments. David Madison is here to tell us about the Arts the Spark program. David, welcome. And this is such an amazing program. It makes me smile. It gives me a warm feeling about this program, not only for the folks that it's geared to, but also the caregivers. So tell folks just briefly, what is the Arts the Spark program?
Thank you so much for having me. And the Arts the Spark program really began in 2000 as a senior outreach program, going into residential facilities and working with those with memory and cognitive impairments and engaging them in a light discussion around reproductions of artwork. And then out of that, in 2010, the museum started a on-site program called Arts the Spark, where participants and their healthy caregivers come together in the galleries, discuss works of art, and then they get to make something in our actual studios.
And so they're on Saturdays.
Yes.
Is it every Saturday?
It is not every Saturday.
Okay.
It's a monthly program.
Okay.
So it meets one Saturday a month from 10:30 to noon. It's actually when our galleries are closed to the public. So they have a private tour,
excellent.
and it's a quiet space where they really do get to reflect.
And so kind of briefly take us through, they arrive at the museum and then what happens?
So they arrive at the museum, they're greeted by our team of volunteers and our facilitators, and then they spend the first 45 minutes on a gallery tour where they're led by our gallery facilitator, who is so animated, and she starts to engage them in a conversation, the partners, and from there, they develop some themes and they bring those into the studio. And at that point, the participants head into the studio to make something, and then the caregivers go into a separate lounge area where they get much needed respite, and they get to just have their own kind of debrief session.
So the caregivers, that's why I mentioned it. It's so vital that those caregivers have that opportunity as well to, share their stories, share their situations as well. Now, you've mentioned that they not only see art, but they make art.
They sure do, and I've brought a few examples.
You brought a couple of examples of this, and we know from so many studies and actually programs here on Active Lifestyles how important engaging in the arts, engaging in art and music and dance, what a difference that makes to folks dealing with cognitive disabilities. So what have you seen? What kind of stories? I'm sure you have a million.
There are so much scientific support that says engaging with the arts improves cognition for those living with these memory impairments. But to me, the great success of this program are the people. That's what makes it such a success. Our facilitators, again, are just so animated and actively engaged, and they're passionate about talking to and connecting with each participant. And then we have a troop of volunteers. They're all friendly and welcoming, and their role really comes into play in the studio. When the participants come into the studio, they are cheered on as they're making by our volunteers. They're not there to direct their hand necessarily, but to keep the motivation going and to make beautiful works like this.
And that's it. It's that positive reinforcement that, again, we talk about so many times, how it's so vital for their overall health. It's for the whole person and for the caregiver as well.
Absolutely.
So how can people get in touch with you? Again, you've mentioned it's one Saturday a month.
Yes.
Do they call the museum,
I'm
or what do we
happy
do?
to talk over the phone. That's always the best way to get registered for this program. And so our phone number is the best way to reach us.
And of course, we'll have all that information on the screen as well. This is an amazing program. We have these beautiful items of art that these folks have benefited from the Orlando Museum of Art. So again, thanks for being here. And the Arts the Spark program at the Museum of Art is a hidden gem. If you know someone living with cognitive decline, please do tell them about this program. It will make a real difference in their life. Thanks again.
Thank you.